Heart of the Matter wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors, Coast News Group, Godania Organic Eatery, Repegs, and John Milkowski Tax Law. Together, let's get to the heart of the matter. Welcome to the Heart of the Matter podcast. I'm Junon.
And I'm Susan Billings. Today we're at Insperity. Thank you, Insperity, for always hosting our podcast, and Coast News for being our sponsor.
Thank you. And today we have Chris Frederick. How you doing?
Yes.
Welcome.
I'm doing well. I appreciate y'all having me here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you here. So you guys met when? How did you?
We actually met
December.
at John Milkowski's event.
Oh,
Right.
just recently.
Yeah, we were both on the judges panel.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Oh, Maverick, my
Yeah.
son.
Yes.
That was
Oh.
Maverick.
Is he the one that went to Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
been meaning to ask you this. I knew there was a connection.
Yeah, he's doing so well. He's actually
Really?
leaving to Peru, Cusco, to serve a mission for 2 years. So
Fabulous.
he
I remember
just- he'll
that
be
was the
leaving.
next step. So
Yeah,
that's
so
cool to hear that.
Cusco, Peru. He'll be at
Mhm.
Machu Picchu.
Well, he got the e-bike too.
He got the e-bike.
Yeah.
I know.
Very
So
compelling
you were on the
story.
judge. How did you connect to being a judge?
John Milkowski and his team and Haley and everyone got involved in the Switchfoot BroAm. And the city connected us. When they came in and moved into Encinitas, or they opened their office in Encinitas, they came to the city and said, we really want to get involved. What are some recommendations? And the city, we've had a 20-year relationship with them, and they introduced us. So
Wow.
yeah, they came and jumped right in and got involved. And then in December,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
And then they had an event in December. That's when we first met in person.
Right, exactly. Yeah, other than that, it was, we were judges on Zoom calls.
Okay.
And so, we had seen each other, but when we
Right.
connected at the event, it was great. We hit it off right away.
Wow.
Appreciate it. We got real right away.
Right,
Oh.
yeah.
That with both of you and the group. So
Ah.
So then you came to the group. You're kind of new. I mean, the last
I've
couple
only
weeks,
been twice.
right?
Yep. Last
so
couple
2
times in the last few weeks.
What made you kind of filter into that? What were you looking for? Why did it?
Well, I think it was the way that John first initially described it to me,
Oh,
and then June, and then a couple. It's funny because the more I mentioned it, I was hearing about this kind of buzz about this group.
Oh, I love it.
It sounded like a group of authenticity, which was something that I was looking for, and I was kind of coming out also of a place of just kind of hunkering down quite a bit through the holidays, and so it's been a healthy way for me to just kind of get back out and almost challenge myself a little bit. I remember messaging you after the first one.
Right.
When I was like, hey, I was actually feeling a little reclusive today, but I made myself come out anyway.
Yeah.
And I was really glad I did. So
That's good.
yeah, it's a
good.
very special group.
It is, and especially with having anywhere from 50, we've had 82 people there. It is difficult really to get personal and, be heart-centered when you have that many people, but everybody's so welcoming.
I
So,
think it's funny how many people come starting out like that.
Hmm.
Like a little bit they're in this in-between of, I want to branch out, but I'm protecting myself also. There's a little bit of self-nurturing going on. And then they land in our group, and then you have this catalyst of all these people self-nurturing and supporting each other to do so. So yeah, and then you start to bud a bit, and open up and meet people that you need to meet. And it just seems to be the story each time.
Right.
I love that you said that it's a buzz, that there was a
Yeah,
buzz.
it's-
There's a
I
buzz.
do, right? Yes.
That's good.
TheGroupCoastal.com.
Come
Come join.
Oh my.
Yeah, congrats on launching the portal too. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's
Exciting.
gonna keep unfolding.
Mhm.
But
Continues to evolve.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, momentum there.
Yeah, let's go back to kind of discussions we've had. Kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been in San Diego and Encinitas area?
So we got here 12 years ago. My wife's from Southern California. It was really nice at the time. Her parents lived in the same house she grew up in Santa Monica. And so it got us close to them, but in a community that we really loved, because we found Encinitas a few years before that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it was
It's somewhat like LA. Don't you feel like there's a little bit of Encinitas is kind of, no, it is. I grew up in like the Redondo Hermosa area, and I feel like Oceanside almost is like a small Redondo Hermosa, and I feel like Encinitas is a little bit more of, I don't know, Topanga, Malibu, I don't know.
Yeah, my wife always says that Oceanside reminds her how Santa Monica was when she grew up.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And even though like everywhere, it's kind of, everything is sort of developing also. But we had gone to Kauai and hiked in the Pali Coast and spent some time in Kapa'a, and we're in Arizona wanting to get back to just more of a community vibe or a small town feeling, because we had spent 10 years in the mountains before that. And we were really thinking about Kauai or something like that. And then we found Encinitas. We're like, oh, this will do.
Yeah.
Best
It's
of
a special
both.
area.
It's a special place.
It is special.
Yeah, and a lot of people say too, it's like a calling, because remember Beth even said, for some reason she was just driving through, all of a sudden something told her to pull over. And
Really?
She pulled in and she moved here.
I think there's a physical and metaphysical aspect to it
Yes.
that really pulls people in.
I say there's ley lines. I felt them, knew
There you go.
them before
Right.
when I was driving one time, and I'm like, what is something's
Right?
here?
Yeah.
It's special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I think
special.
that's also why you see a lot of holistic kind of modalities within here. I mean, I don't know.
That's true.
It's probably, I mean, I think there's like 2 Starbucks. There's plenty of yoga studios though. Like every block there's something and, you know, some sort of modality.
And there's kind of a special part. You mentioned Starbucks, and I not one way or the other on that. It's interesting though to see like the Coast Highway community of local, so
Right.
much just homegrown businesses,
yeah.
coffee
Yes.
shops included, and things
Yeah.
like that. It's it just makes it that I don't know. There's something special.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, come to think of it, I mean, I only know of one coastal Starbucks. The rest are small, kind of, small business coffee shops, which is.
I mean, anywhere people want to gather is great. It's just, it is neat though, because oftentimes that's the business owner, like John at Necessity, that
Right.
and it's like, oh well, he's right here and he's running the place. And I had lived in Tahoe and Flagstaff and things like that, and that was a lot of that vibe. And so that's one of the things that we still love about this area.
Yeah, that's why we do the podcast too, is to kind of focus on business owners and people that are trying to make this. We're bringing it. We want to bring it closer. We want to bring the whole North County, San Diego, into this little family. You know how you say, "Wow, the world's so small." We want to make it like, "Oh, we're all here to support each other."
Exactly. Yeah. And there's enough to go around. That's the other vibe that I pick up with people, and always tried to carry into past work that I've done too.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you moved here, and then I think when we met in December and we kind of had a conversation, your daughter came up.
Yeah.
You adopted your daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
3 years ago, we adopted our daughter.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
She's 12. She just turned 12 last week.
So
And
wow,
so
she's 9.
She was
9, 10,
she was
12.
almost
Yeah.
9, and
Really?
mhm.
Wow.
Yep, it was a
Oh,
journey.
What a lucky
Sure.
girl.
Thank you. She's
Aw.
boy, it's life changing. I love being a girl dad. That's for sure.
Aw,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
amazing.
Yeah.
What a change for you.
Mhm. It was, because my wife and I had been together for 20 years before that, and it was kind of supposed to be a 2 or 3 year journey. It was a 5-year journey, including some speed bumps with COVID and whatnot, because we went to India to bring her home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was just
Yeah.
it was great.
That's
overall.
incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
First child?
First child.
Mm.
Yep.
What a special girl.
Right, Daddy's girl. That's amazing.
good.
So, and I mean, what a great place to raise a kid. I mean, your daughter here. So, how's that transition been for her?
It's been very interesting. She was in a very small orphanage. There were only a few. I always thought of orphanages as, 30 or 50 kids or 200 kids running around, and there were 3 kids there when we went to bring her home, and they were all the other who actually also got adopted to California was her age, and then there was another boy that was younger, and so just this general stimulation of coming into a large community was a change for her. She experienced quite a bit of trauma too. And so I made a transition very gratefully, very fortunate to be able to do it. I basically took a year off, resigned from my career. I was in media, sales and sponsorships for 18 years, and left that and was able to just be home. And I guess you could call it homeschool, or more like world schooling her, just showing her the world. I mean, standing at the automatic doors at Sprouts for like 5 minutes, just watching them, that kind of thing, just putting her in awe, and then slowly getting her adapted to an environment of 500 kids in a school. That was, that was a big change. So she started out in school, and 3rd grade was her first year ever, because she had never been to school and never learned to read or write. And she's in a great school at Ocean Knoll, and they've really wrapped their arms around her. And she went for an hour or 2 for the first month, and then we just kind of slowly grew into it. So she's really blossomed there. She's doing
Wow. Amazing
That is
journey.
right.
That's a
I
podcast
love
in
the story.
itself.
I know.
My heart.
Does she
Wow.
keep in touch with the other 2 kids that were adopted here in California?
Not that one of the two kids was adopted here in California, and the I guess shorter story is yes. We happen to be connected through the same agency. I mean, needle in a haystack, kind of. She could have gone to Austria, for all we know, right? And she came here, and well, in fact, she was in North Carolina at first, and then moved to California last year. And so we did get the girls together a year ago, and so it's pretty special. There's a very interesting dynamic to it if you think about it, because it brought them back to a place, and then kind of figuring out navigating also now being in a healthy home environment. So it's been interesting to watch, but I'm excited for them that they potentially have each other for the rest of their lives, because, you know, just
parallel journeys.
Yeah, right. I mean, when we're kids, we process things differently. And I think we also just, our mind sort of puts certain things off. And I'm hopeful for them that that some of those things, you know, maybe start to come more to the surface, that they'll also have each other.
Yeah, to heal through that.
But yeah, and those kinds of things. So, but she's a light, man. She's just she just always, even, we were really fortunate because it was COVID. Remember March 13th, 2020, when everything shut down?
Right.
That was the day we got matched with her. So we get the email that morning at 6 a.m, and this is your daughter you've been waiting 3 years for. And there's a neat story about how we had just been recommended by a new agency to change a little bit of our age cell, essentially. It's okay to go into this. We applied, with all this language that you use in adoption, but we applied for a 4 to 6 year old little girl, and she just turned 4 when we did that, not knowing this, right? But she had just turned 4. And 3 years later, we had to get a new agency and everything, and they said, you know, there are actually no 4 to 6 year old kids coming out of India, especially to non-Indian families. They said, but we think if you change your age cell to 6 to 8, the age group is more promising. And she turned 7 like the week before we did that. So now she's out of the 4 to 6. We move into 6 to 8, and 3 weeks later we got matched.
Unreal.
So still get
goosebumps.
So.
And then because we had to wait, because we couldn't travel for COVID or anything like that, they even waited probably a year to tell her about us at all. But we did get to video chat with her about 3 months before we were going. So it was pretty neat. Yeah. So it's been a journey.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's been a journey, but
I love it.
I love it.
I love hearing these stories, you know, of people that we have on the podcast. They're so rich in experiences, and they're so unique and diverse, and you're just like, if everybody could just look at someone and know get a download of their entire background.
Yes.
It would be so cool to.
Well, this is also why I do these coffees so much, because it's like my own mini podcast, because I get to learn so much about people.
Yeah,
so,
that's a beautiful, beautiful story.
It brings through compassion, I think, too.
Absolutely.
You know, the more we know about people.
Yes.
Which is not always the way society kind of gears us.
No.
Right.
And so, yeah, it is nice to hear it. And I'm hopeful that I can find a way to advocate for other families that are interested in this, and domestic, international, whatever it may be. You know, because we had to get really involved in the school system, she had never been in school, and advocate for her for that, which they've been great. But, you know, you also have to be an active participant.
So how long is the process from the time you take out
depends,
COVID?
right?
It does. They told us 2.5 years, and at the about 2.5 year mark was when we had to change agencies. Save that for another story. But the next one that came in was great and really got things going. And then, COVID just shut everything down. Normally, what you would do, and it's actually somewhat, I look for silver linings in things. The way that it actually works with international adoption, most of the time I've heard, is you go out there within 30 days, and you're making the connection, and you're also kind of just making sure everything is as they say it is, and all of that. And then you go home without them and wait for the court date 3 to 6 months later. I can't imagine having had
So
that.
you're meeting the child
Yeah.
during that 30-day process, and then you walk away from them.
Right. Yeah, which they already have an abandonment issue. So I would think there's another.
Yeah.
I'm actually hopeful, and this is just coming to me, but I'm hopeful that somebody in this day and age of technology is thinking through that and just thinking, well, what if we did start
restructure the process?
Like the manager at the orphanage just happened to start allowing us to make WhatsApp video calls. And it was neat because we set them up a couple times, and then, you know, it's a 12.5 hour difference there. And so,
how good was that episode?
So good. Let's celebrate.
Where do you want to go?
JoJo's Creamery.
Ooh, my favorite. Look at all the flavors.
They even have vegan.
Ooh, awesome.
Hi, welcome in, you guys.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Good. Is there anything I can get started for you?
My go-to is peanut butter cup and coconut almonds.
So I'm gonna do coconut mounds in a cup, please.
All right, that'll be $15.85.
All right. Wait, my wallet.
June, you can use repegs.
Oh, that's right.
And you guys get 2 free cookies with those.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Repegs is so easy to use. Thanks a lot.
Then after that, every now and then, just at 11 o'clock at night, when it was around lunchtime their time, we'd just get these calls. And we'd, oh, our daughter's calling, you know, we jump on the phone with them.
Sweet.
So we
That's
got
great.
to see her run around.
That's a
and all
good
that.
way to
Yeah.
keep that,
That is.
bridge going.
Did you have any, did you kind of have a guide, a source to kind of, this is going to be the process, or did you
We
kind
had
of
a great
figure it out?
agency. Yeah, overall, they were very involved and, you know, kind of helped us out along the way. There's also a liaison in country. And so there, you know, we were fortunate enough to be able to ask her to go to the court hearings for us and things like that, because they're so spread out, and it was after COVID, so they were just kind of getting it all back together. So it was, sometimes you would go and sit and you wouldn't get your chance to speak. And so she went 3 times to go do that.
So how many times did you have to go to India?
We only went once.
Okay.
Yeah. at the end.
Initially,
And-
or at the end?
At the end.
To bring her home?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, because they changed the process to where you didn't have to go out there. I think COVID just changed everything.
Sure,
But
yeah.
So
Thanksgiving.
I'm just thinking, like,
Sure.
she's never seen a plane.
Yeah.
Like, just getting her
Everything.
onto a plane. I mean, the
Right.
emotions had to be so heavy for her internally.
And we're passing dung huts and things like that, and you know, farm animals and things like that. I mean, because we flew into New Delhi and then took another plane and then took a 4-hour drive into the interior. So we were really in the middle of nowhere. And so for her to kind of see the world, but you know what? She was like a frequent flyer on the plane.
Yeah,
She just
yeah.
loved it. We had some things for her to be doing, and she had a great time with it. And she's still hopeful if we, you know, go see my family in Atlanta or something. She said, "Can we take 2 planes?
Oh,
really?
Can we stop in Texas or something like that?" And then go,
wow.
yeah. So she
likes
loved
it then.
it. It
That's
was pretty
cool.
neat. And then, but then there were other things, like the first night we brought her home, because you go there, you could spend 30 minutes there if you want to, but I worked for a woman who had adopted, and she said, you know, what's really neat is if you bring, you know, some gifts or jackets or things like that. That's what they had done, and we did that, and we were able to spend a few hours in the orphanage, and it was really special that way. And then, which we felt like was a smoother transition for her, as opposed to like, okay, come on, get in the car. you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
absolutely.
True.
30 minutes later, and so that was a nice way to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure too, because there's probably a feeling of who she left behind,
Right.
and what
Yes.
they are experiencing. You know, I think how
Yeah,
do you
it's
not feel that?
Yet you're really creating one more traumatic experience in her life of like, I mean, at least it's, even if it wasn't the healthiest environment, she knew it, right? We say, what do we say? The devil you know, that kind of thing. And so, you know, there was that. But I was fortunate, like I was saying, to take a transition. My wife and I both mostly took that year off, and she didn't go to school for 6 or 7 months. And the day that we adopted her, the day that we picked her up at the orphanage, was Thanksgiving Day 2021.
Oh,
Which is just,
really? There's all these different.
yeah, it was just really neat.
These
And
moments.
That's always been one of our favorite holidays too.
Yeah.
Because it's not all about the gifts; it's about gathering together
Right.
and things like that too. So yeah, so that was neat.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Good. Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing
thank you for doing it.
that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Exactly.
that's a great
Absolutely. Well, that's
story.
what I said. A lot of, and ever since I've met you and spoken with you, it's heart-centered. I mean, and your heart is, you know, one of the biggest I've seen from people, and I'm still
Yeah, I
getting
was
to know
gonna
you.
say you have a very, very good light and countenance. It's just I remember seeing you the first time when you were sitting there, and you just were observing, but that you were very, very kind in
Yes.
presence. So
Thank you.
yeah, and again, it's so great to see people when they come and add to the group. You're like, okay,
Well, again, in life and with the group, the right people come at the right time. I feel like
Yeah.
you came at the right time, and you've added so much to it. And
Thank you.
yeah, it's amazing. I appreciate you being here. And the other thing too is, like you said, you took a year off. You used to do sponsorship sales, things like that. So
Right.
how did you get involved with the BroAm?
So 10 or 11 years ago, I was at iHeartRadio, and we started a relationship with the BroAm. And it happens.
and explain BroAm to
Sure,
everybody.
of course.
for-
The Switchfoot BroAm, it's an annual celebration that gives back to the community. Started by the Switchfoot guys 20 years ago, local rock band, and talk about a heart-centered group of people. Just amazing. And once I got involved the first year, I just kind of had to stay involved. And so did the sponsors. Actually, 2 of them have been with us for 10 years as well. So, I mean, it's true partnerships, and it's well, I'll jump into that in a moment, but that's how I first got involved with it when I was still in that career. And then the adoption just really created this need for a shift. And so I needed a different path, and I really wanted to be home more often. And I was sitting with my friends at the foundation at kind of the end of that year off, and they were rebuilding the team, and a foundation partnerships director position and an events director position was being rebuilt. And what I'm really grateful for about it, and then I'll share more about it, is that it just seems to have aligned that just the right people were available, which isn't always the case, and just to come into it, because we have a fabulous event director as well who had been groomed before COVID under the director at the time there too, and we knew each other a little bit. And I really wanted to focus on the foundation side and just be in my heart more. I spent a lot of time in my head. So, be of service in that way. And but the Switchfoot BroAm it's an annual event. So it's really 2 events, but the Beach Fest is what most people know, which is a free festival out at Moonlight Beach, has been held there for 20 years in Encinitas. And the Switchfoot guys 20 years ago, they're on top of the world. They're coming back from an international tour. And just the people that they are, the first thing they wanted to do is give back to the community that raised them. Yeah. And so they said, let's do a free festival. And they grabbed their friend Rob Machado, and they grabbed other people, and they did a surf They're surfers and musicians, and they wanted to do a surf contest and share music and just pull people together in the oneness of community. And so that's what they've been doing ever since. And it's grown. And so that first year that I got involved, I think this last one was my 10th. So I think 2015 or 16 was my first, and it's very moving, and so is the benefit party. It's I guess you call it a gala, but it's a little more rock and roll than gala.
Right.
It's a very intimate night, 500 people.
Is it all the same weekend?
It is. It's usually Thursday and Saturday.
Okay.
So a couple nights before, at least it has been for a little while now, and it's pretty much always the second or third Saturday in June. It's kind of the official kickoff to summer, and
It really is.
just pulls people from.
Brandon, what's going on? This is going to be our biggest deal. We can't be down.
I don't know, man. I've been trying to reach tech support for hours now. They're not responding. They said they're probably not going to get back to us for the next couple of days.
Tennessee Tech told you this was going to happen. Let's call them right now. They do the tech support, cybersecurity. They can help us.
Let's do it. All right, team. Great job. Because of Tennessee Tech, we were able to present this and close it. Good job, team.
Definitely all over this region, but we've tracked 35 states and 11 countries, and people come from all over. There's something about it, and we get stopped, and people mention it to us too. And the Switchfoot guys have a lot to do with it, and it's also, though, I think so much of what I've learned now being in this role, this is my 3rd year, is that the community has such an ownership for it. There's really just this pride, and it's unique. It has a special aspect to it, and right down to the sponsors and the vendors that get involved. I mean, it's very intentional, I think, is the way. And I know you guys can relate to that, just even on the scale of the group. And then we have over 200 volunteers that literally make it possible to even do something like that. 'Cause we're a small foundation, so that we can just pass as much on to our beneficiaries, and that's the foundation side of it. So we have 6 beneficiaries, and they're all children's charities, or our programs with them apply to unhoused, food insecure, generally at-risk or disadvantaged youth. And that could be, that also includes the arts and surfing and things like that. So, yeah.
I can see why it's so fulfilling for you.
It really is.
Yeah.
So you work on that through the whole year?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm available for, we're actually really ramping up right now. So, January through June or July is kind of the season, if you will.
He took time off to be on our podcast. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Oh man, I'm honored to be here.
It is a big deal, though. I mean, that's the thing. Like you said, you had 35 different states that people come from.
Yeah, I mean, all over. Everybody's welcome, but people have gotten to know it, whether they've just been visiting here. It's amazing. Obviously, being on the foundation side, I see where some of the giving comes from, and it just makes me think on Giving Tuesday this past year, there was a rather large donation given online, and I just had to know the story. So I reached out to the guy, and I was like, how, can I ask your relationship to this whole thing? And he said, well, my son had lived in San Diego, went to the BroAm a couple times. I still have a shirt from it. We're planning a trip out there this year. We're just really moved by what Switchfoot and the foundation is doing. So I just wanted to be a part of it because I could. And so
I love people so
I love people too.
much.
Exactly.
So-
And again, it goes back to this area too. I think everybody in this community loves to support each other, local cause, and it's been, like you said, it's been around for so long. It's just a part of Encinitas now.
It really is. It's one, and the relationship with the city is a huge part of it.
The city is a good supporter.
They have. They've been a big
especially
supporter.
now, even
Yeah.
good city support.
Yeah, marine safety, fire, police.
Yeah.
It's everybody. You don't realize all the layers that go into putting on an event that hosts 15 or 17,000 people. But
there's that many people.
Yeah, not only once over the course of the day.
Yeah.
But it starts with a surf contest in the morning, which is there's adults. There's Rob Machado's Bro Junior for the 17 and unders. There's the Challenged Athletes Foundation. That's one of the, I think the most touching moments at BroAm, either at Benefit Party or the Beach Fest, is when people get to see where their participation goes tangibly into the lives of the children that need it the most. And that's, for example, challenged athletes. So kids out there with limb differences, John, Chad, Tim, Jerome, the guys from Switchfoot, they're out there pushing kids into waves with Rob Machado and a bunch of volunteers and heart-centered people. And these kids, some of them are getting on waves for the first time ever. So it's amazing. Or the Save the Music kids that will go in and bring music education programs full-time back into middle schools and high schools. And then those kids each year from whichever school that is, they get up on stage and perform a Switchfoot song with the guys. And, so we had Avila last year. She's a 12-year-old leukemia survivor. We brought Rady Children's Hospital on as a beneficiary last year after realizing there's no music therapy program in there. There are people that do it, but not an actual internal program. And as you know, they're kind of expanding and have and had a growth mindset in that space as well. And we thought, what an opportunity for us to champion something that just really sits in our hearts and the platform that we have and things like that to tell people about. And Avila got up on stage. She's a singer-songwriter herself. Brought her ukulele. She's up on stage singing, and then she sang a duet with the band as well. And those are the moments that I think, I'm around it all the time, and it still touches me because
I can't wait for this year.
it's how people
Yeah.
yeah, really.
Well, it's an amazing legacy. Obviously, we have our children as legacies, but what an amazing legacy. You've touched so many people, and over all these years, Switchfoot, they've affected the community. So
They really have.
So what do you do specifically?
Okay.
What's your role
Sure.
in that?
So it's, I guess you would say, running the foundation. And what I like about, not that it's all about a title, but Foundation and Partnerships Director, meaning, yes, the back end of the foundation. We are fiscally sponsored also by Mission Edge San Diego, which is a great way for us to have a lot of the sort of back end and overhead taken care of so that we can focus on our mission. And however, we are running and operating the foundation ourselves. And so I'll be doing those kinds of things. And then probably the best part of it is the relationship building and the nurturing our relationships with our beneficiaries, our donors, our team, and just,
What are you looking for? What do you need?
Sure.
Like when you wake up in the morning, you're like, if I can intend something or find this, what would it be?
Okay, thanks for asking. There's probably a couple of things. One is participants at the sponsor and partnership level at Beach Fest, certainly, because there is a vendor village there. We have a concert village, we have a surf village, so people can come, brands come out and activate. Over the years, Sunbum's been there every year, Samazon, Brixton. It's kind of cool because it's kind of like a downtown Encinitas vibe down there, but not exclusively at all. But Suja Organic, Suja Juice has been involved for years as well. And so there's always opportunities for new
Vendors.
for new activations and things like that. We're trying to create memorable experiences. And so we invite brands and companies to come and think of ways to do that. And we are intentional about it. And so, but those are the kind of conversations that I get to have. And then I would say the other thing would be whether it's companies or donors or just people who are, actively able to contribute to the community, if they're interested in having a conversation and seeing, because that's one of the best things that I get to do. I'll be taking one of our, Laura Luttrell is at Luttrell Flooring, and she sponsors our VIP the youth VIP area at Beach Fest. And we're going to go tour the Monarch School in a few weeks. The youth VIP area at Beach Fest is a whole area sectioned off only for the kids of only for the beneficiary kids. And they have lunch and they have games and the Switchfoot guys come and hang out with them. They're the VIPs for the day. That's what we always say.
That's great.
So it's a big group hug for the whole community, and at the same time, you know, the special emphasis or highlight is on the kids. Yeah.
So how do you pick your kids? How do you find the kids?
Hey, can you believe we have 336 members now of the group?
I know. Crazy
growing
how
so much.
fast that was actually in a
Let's
year.
celebrate.
Okay, you're always wanting, look at that. Look how quick he is to celebrate.
Well, we have to celebrate.
What are you looking for though?
For that corkscrew.
Tune. Los Cuernos. No corkscrew needed. What do you want? You want a rosé? Red. Another red. But you want Chardonnay, I'm sure.
Chardonnay, just
Pop that open.
They are generally through our beneficiaries. We, you know, they do such great work in the community already that they're able to identify who that could be. So Monarch School, for example, they could bring kids in. A Step Beyond is another one of our beneficiaries. It's an after-school dance and academic support program, and it's at the California Center for the Arts. It's on their campus in Escondido, and so they identify, and you know, we leave it up to them to see who's available, of course, too.
And how many kids
We have
usually a
100
year?
kids in there.
100?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we invite
Wow.
each one to bring 100, 120. I mean, it's a rather large space, and we wanted it that way. It's near enough to the stage that they can see everything, but also, you know, have kind of it's where the volleyball courts are essentially at Moonlight Beach, and so, but we enclose the area, and so, like I said,
Oh,
the
how
trail
fun for
flooring-
them. I mean, they get to
Yeah.
experience, 100 kids get to experience that VIP experience.
Yeah.
And it's new ones every year?
Yeah.
Mostly, sometimes there are repeats, which is fun because there was one last year, and Tim from Switch was like, "I remember you here last year. It's great to see you," because you kind of see them growing up as well too. So that's a neat thing. And Biosat here in the community has been partnered with us forever. And in fact, we had our first lifetime partnership award given at the benefit party last year, and we honored them with that. And their volunteers staff the whole thing and provide lunch and things like that too. So it's really an all-in, you know, all hands-in community.
That's great.
experience.
Well, it's been around for so long. You're probably right. Kids that grew up kind of going to it, now they become parents, they get older, and then
Right.
they send their kids there. So
Yeah.
It reminds me, there's Kiki was one of the graduates from the Monarch School, and she was, I guess, part of our partnership or relationship with them that year. I can't think of another way to say it. And then I love seeing her. She'll still come back because we host the beneficiaries at the benefit party every year as well. And she came again last year, which was a couple of years after, you know, we had originally met her. So it's just really neat to see what are you
doing now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
You are saturated in good works.
Yes.
Like your life is
All
from
around.
home to business to
Well,
community. It's all heart-based. That's what you're doing.
I'm so fortunate. And
Yeah,
the Switchfoot families, the BroAm families, it's a special group. It's been a very profound experience, I guess you would say, for me to come into that. And there's a lot of trust, and we're all on the same page about so many things, and I'm really, really grateful for it.
It's amazing.
yeah, that's great.
It's funny because when I have a bad day, just of my own, we all have them, I kind of try to remind myself I'm pretty much checking the boxes of everything I thought I wanted to be doing 5 years ago. And so it's a good reference point for sure.
Yeah.
This is great. Well, so then, like you said, 5 years ago, what's the plan for the next 5 years?
That's a great question. Well, we're talking now even about, you know, what do we see being able to do? It's interesting. We have this conversation, and I'm reminded by someone at the foundation that it's not all about how much money we raise. It's our platform, it's the connections that we make, it's the causes we can champion, and sometimes that's just making connections. So Brixton, for example, has some great products, and the Monarch School has this butterfly boutique. It's a very dignified private space that if the night before your jacket got stolen or your shoes got lost or whatever it might have been from wherever those children are living that night, they go in there. There's a whole boutique full of everything from hygiene kits to brand new jackets and tennis shoes and everything. And Brixton gave us 200 sweatshirts the other day, and we, delivered those. So it's continuing to make connections, and maybe for the foundation anyway, finding more and more ways to involve the community as far as with the, I guess, ownership or activation of it in the community. And then, me personally, it's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to think of where my daughter will be in 5 years. And I have thoughts, and we touched on this a little bit when we got together, of a community space as well, of gathering. Different, they're all different kinds. And so I don't know if that will morph out of what I'm doing now or on top of it or whatever that may be, but in nature, certainly in nature. My wife and I have run retreats and things like that too. So, something along that path. So we'll see.
Yeah. How exciting.
Not the most clearly defined path, but what where I'm at really right now, and even in my own personal journey, is just kind of just showing up and saying, okay, I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And saying yes to those things. It's like Michael Singer's surrender experiment. I'm just kind of saying yes as much as I can right now.
Yes. And it's interesting when you do lead with that heart, like we were talking about in the Between Us little segment, was how do you mix purpose with what you're doing for work to make money? And it's just such a great example of look at you're doing something that brings, it's almost mission based, and yes, it's providing for your needs, and you're being able to, you took care of a child that needed, a life, a change in her life. So you're doing it.
Yes.
You're leading your life. It's a purpose-driven life, and you're doing it. And now it's the same thing. When that step lights up, you just say, okay, yes. If it lights you up,
be
you
open to
step on it.
everything. And then that positive energy, we talk about all the time. It just, right people keep showing up because we're just positive. Life is good.
Yeah, you guys are you're so inclusive, you're so welcoming with what you're trying to do. The motives are so genuine, if there's motive at all, meaning just the intention overall, and that's really felt through and through. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Refreshing, like I was saying earlier when we were catching up, and it's also just I think it's healing too in a lot of places.
Yes.
Like you said, people have gotten emotional at the group meetings and things like that, and I'm not surprised, because you create a safe space for that, and we get to see all sides of everybody.
That's the best, especially those that have been there for a while, to see how much they've grown, or
it's exciting to see, because you see, and the thing too is that people will come to us with problems, issues, and
heavy problems.
Yeah. And we love the fact that they do come to us, because they might not have another outlet. So come to us, and we'll see what we can do. If we can't help, then. But the fact that we're just here, I think we give them space. It's helping a lot of people. So.
But we're not speaking of us. We literally realize we need that too. And so it's interesting to see how everybody kind of consecrates their efforts for each other. So what we can't do, someone else does step in, and they find that connection there. And so it's not us. We're just like, this is what we need. This is what's needed.
Yeah, I feel that with you all, because it's really what one of the guys said to me when I was coming into my role. They said, and this is how we feel about it with the community, is the BroAm is as much yours as it is ours. And it feels that way with what you all are creating with this too. Even just like launching the portal and the general basic access right from the beginning that you're giving everybody to ensure that everyone can connect, and then more opportunities even to grow, with purpose-driven businesses and things like that. So it's inspiring.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me how the name came about.
The BroAm?
Yeah.
So my understanding is that, so there is a surf contest, right? And you've heard of ProAms, like a ProAm golf tournament. Well, it's a little more bro than pro.
It fits.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
The story is that the guys, even when they were kids, growing up here in Encinitas, they would throw a couple bucks in a hat and have their own fun little surf contests and whatnot. And
that's awesome.
they, again, the way they put it is, we were just young enough and dumb enough 20 years ago to think, hey, we'll just put on a free contest and surf contest, or free concert and surf contest at the beach and see who comes. And the community just comes through.
That's what's great about the BroAm too, though. You've been able to maintain that kind of small, friendly, hey, let's have a competition, but it's extremely well organized. So, you know, it's amazing that you put everything together,
Yeah.
but it feels like a small town. Like you feel like you're a small community. So
It does feel, and I don't, again, no ownership here on it, because I didn't, you know, it's not mine. It does feel, it's a special thing.
Right.
It does. It's in it, and it, I think resonates at that same vibration as this community overall, this area and what the guys bring to it and all of it. So yeah, it's really special. But it doesn't happen without people showing up.
True.
And that's the big thing,
Yeah.
you know. And so that's what makes it special. If people stopped coming, I guess
Oh,
we
yeah.
wouldn't do it. But
True.
I think there's a
Show up.
well, I think
keep
there's a
coming.
need for it.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
overall, and the same need that you guys identify with the group. It's like, okay, well, and then it comes down to, and this is a little bit of a double-edged phrase that I've started to realize or think about lately, is that, you know, if we can, we should. And on the positive side of that, I think, for example, the way that we look at the people, this community, and how we get involved is that, you know, we all recognize that we share this responsibility with each other to, for example, take care of the next generation coming through so they have as many opportunities as we do. The other side that I've learned from it, when you ask me, for example, questions of like, what do I do with the foundation, is recognizing the way that I'm kind of driven, and my partner is as well. Just because we can,
Should we do all of it?
Should we do all of
Oh,
the?
we
Right.
talk about that all
We
the
do it all
time.
the time.
Yeah.
That's-
How do you get that balance where you're like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because we want to do everything.
Right. How do you manage it?
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's super tricky. I
You
think
get up at 2:30 in the morning is how you manage.
Yeah.
gets
Let's
up
just
to
start that for everybody.
Yeah. I don't
Is there
know.
any easier access point than that?
You know, I think in general, people, I'm sitting here listening to you thinking, I love that there's people where we live that are that caring and have that perspective, but we also have to manage that caring card, really look inward and say, I gotta reel it back. I gotta make sure I'm good,
Sure.
put the oxygen mask on, and get grounded again on healthy me, so that I'm not, because sometimes overgiving isn't healthy either.
No.
So it's just a constant calibration of, okay, am I good?
Yeah.
Is my home good?
Yeah, and if you
Because-
do that, you're a lot more effective too, I think, in helping.
Yeah, in every way. I mean, it's the age-old, theory of start with you, then go to your home, then go to your community, then you go to your city, then you go to the state, then you go to the nation. You know, it kind of goes bigger. But if you don't stay at that base where you and your home are good, we can easily be like, yes. All of
Overextended
it.
and
Yeah.
not that best version of yourself when you're
No.
out there doing those things, and then all kinds of mind games can roll in with that. And
Yeah.
I have I've experienced both, but
Yeah.
I think
Balance
you make a great
you,
point. Take care
and,
of
and then everything else
Right.
will be balanced.
Right.
Because you'll
It's
know how
kind
to
of the-
see it.
Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. Love
Yeah.
yourself so you can love
Totally.
others.
And we know when we get off balance.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I gotta rein it in.
And the
A little
people
bit.
around you can notice too. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
overly
Over-leveraged.
over leveraged, you're stressed, and you
Yeah.
may react a different way.
So when you have a heart, it's really hard.
It is difficult. We talk about that all the time.
Love yourself.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
100%.
So again, as far as sponsors go, are you
Yep.
at this point getting a lot of people contacting you about sponsorships, or do you have to actually actively go out and try to cultivate?
It goes
them?
both ways. It really goes both ways. Fortunately, with the history, there's an awareness of the event. So we do have places on our website, for example, for people to come and find us and reach out, and that all comes to myself and our team.
Does the city also have on their site, do they funnel things to you at all?
Not as directly as that, but in the kind of the way that we're all sitting in this room together. For example, I think I mentioned that Milikowski Tax Law, John and Haley and them, they came into, I can't remember if I said this already, so forgive me, but they came into Encinitas, and when they opened their office and they went to the city and they said, hey, we really want to get involved in the community, who should we talk to? And, the city
And then they
Encinitas
said
right.
you. That's fantastic.
So
That is great.
there's an understanding.
Yeah,
It's,
good.
there is, I'm sure, a calendar, an events page, and that kind of thing. Yeah.
To be honest, and we talked about it earlier too. I want the group to get involved as well. And,
Yeah.
however we can.
Yeah, whatever we can do to help.
Yeah.
What we're really wanting to do with the group too is when there's a grand opening at a store, we're all there to show up. So if there are things that you need or you want us to be announcing or saying specifics, this is what they're
Thanks.
looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
absolutely.
want to help and they have the ability to.
And our viewers as well. donate, sponsorships, volunteer? What's the best way
Come
that they
participate.
can? Yeah, what's the best way they can?
BroAm.org is a great place. Obviously, anybody can find me as well, but BROAM.org. And so that would be just an easy way to get started. And there's a Get Involved tab, and there's a handful of different ways to get involved. We have great food out there, great brand activations.
I've been going ever since I moved out here 18 years ago, so I'm gonna keep going. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, so good to have you.
Yeah, I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it. Thank you for having
repping ProAm so well. I'm sure they're like, speak it. Can bring it out.
It does feel like we have, I'll just say, it feels like we have all the right people in the right places right now. And that's a you know how something just.
All right, we've done a great job of branding the group and Heart of the Matter. We've grown to close to 600 people. Now, how do we market this? How do we get out there? Do we do SEO? How do we get the news out there?
Coast News Group.
just works well when we do that. So I feel really grateful to be a part of it overall. So thank you.
Good. Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with your sweet daughter. And
Yes, absolutely.
well done on that.
We're the lucky ones, honestly. She's such a light. So thank you. Yeah.
To experience the journey with you, I mean, it's going to be great. But again, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for tuning in. As always, if you liked, then push the
Like and subscribe, YouTube and Spotify, Heart of the Matter. And we have our new segment, Between Us, which is coming out as well. So again, that's more on the personal side. But
Yeah, and if you are interested in the group at all, every Friday morning we meet. You can come for free, be amongst great people like Chris at 9 o'clock at Good On Ya. We will be there.
yeah, and register on our page, thegrouppostal.com. You get a free membership. Log in. You can follow our calendar, look at events, even add events as well. But we're going to continually do additional workshops, events, and volunteer work as well. So,
Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks a lot.
Chris.
thank
So
you.
good.
Take care.
All right.